Let's rank the top 12 running backs in the Big 12, and I think this is the deepest conference as far as running backs. Now, I've only done the SEC rankings so far in running backs. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. But the Big 12 is so deep, the names I'm leaving off this 12 running back list is crazy. You have Dylan Edwards, who just transferred from Colorado to Kansas State. We know how good he can be and how fast he is. We have Dominic Richardson at Baylor, and then we have Daniel Hishaw at Kansas. So those are three names I'm leaving out. Just speaks volumes about how good the running backs in the Big 12 are. Cracking the top 12, Cam Skattebo at Arizona State. Cam is coming off a really good season at Arizona State, over 800 yards rushing and 200 yards receiving with 10 total touchdowns. He also threw a touchdown pass, just a very dynamic back. And Arizona State had an abysmal season last year under first-year head coach Kenny Dillingham. And we all knew it was going to be, but it was worse than probably some of us expected. But Cam Skattebo was the bright spot in all of that. Number 11, Corey Kiner at Cincinnati. Cincinnati had a rough first year in the Big 12, as most of the transitioning teams did last year, but Kiner did not. He had a hell of a season, over 1,000 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. He also averaged over 5.5 yards a carry. Number 10, Abu Sama at Iowa State. Sama played like a senior last year when in reality he was a true freshman. Over 665 yards, 6 touchdowns, and he averaged over 7.3 yards a carry. 7.3 yards a carry is just unheard of. It really is. And even last year he shared reps with Eli Sanders and Norton, but this year he should get the majority of the reps. Number 9, CJ Donaldson at West Virginia, coming off a great season last year, over 800 yards and 11 touchdowns, and he also shared the rock with Jaheim White, who will be ahead of him on this list. That's how good they are. Those two are nightmares for defenses. He also averaged over or almost 5 yards a carry, which is really good for somebody touching the ball as much as he did last year. Number 8, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Some people might not have heard of him. He transferred from New Mexico to Arizona very recently. And he's had an interesting college career. 4 years at Alabama State, transferred to New Mexico last year, and he broke records at New Mexico. One of the best running back seasons ever there. Over 1,300 yards and 18 total touchdowns. He also finished the season with 2 straight 200-plus yard rushing games. He is just ridiculous and so fun to watch, and he will be so good at Arizona under Brent Brennan's system. Number 7, Peny Boone at UCF, another new face in the Big 12. He transfers from Toledo, where last year at Toledo, under a great season and a great head coach in Jason Candle, he won the 2023 MAC Player of the Year. Put up insane numbers, over 1,600 total yards, 16 touchdowns, averaged over 7 yards a carry. Just ridiculous. And he had a weird transfer portal. He in the first transfer window, I think he transferred to Louisville, and then the second window, this past window, he transferred to UCF, and he will be joining R.J. Harvey, K.J. Jefferson, and Gus Malzahn at UCF. Number 6, DJ Giddens at Kansas State. What a year for Giddens last year. Proved himself as the number 1 back at Kansas State last year, and he will be this season as well. And if I'm putting DJ Giddens 6th on this list, that's how deep of a conference this is at running back. It's crazy. Had an amazing year last year. Over 1,300 yards and over 1,500 total yards and 13 touchdowns last season. And this year he'll be sharing the backfield with Dylan Edwards, the speedy fast back from Colorado, and then Avery Johnson, the new speedy quarterback there at Kansas State. So it'll be super fun trio to watch, and I can't wait to watch them. Number 5, Jaheim White at West Virginia, the second West Virginia running back on this list. As a true freshman last year, sharing the rock with Garrett Green and CJ Donaldson, he still ran for almost 900 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaging over 7.7 yards a carry. It's crazy numbers. And this year he will share the backfield with them again, and he should be even better in that system. Number 4, R.J. Harvey at UCF, the second UCF running back on this list. He's coming off an amazing year there last year. He had a great year in 2022 when UCF was in the American Conference. They moved over to the Big 12 last year, and they struggled their way to a 6-win season, still reach a bowl game, and they did the best out of all the transitioning teams. But he had a better season. 1,700 total yards and 17 touchdowns. Crazy. This year, he will share the backfield with new running back Peny Boone, who I previously mentioned, and then new quarterback KJ Jefferson, and that will be so fun to watch. Number 3, Taj Brooks at Texas Tech. He's going into his 5th year at Texas Tech, and last year he doubled his yards from the first 3 years he was at Texas Tech. Over 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns there last year, and he is in for a awesome 2024 season. Number 2, Devin Neal at Kansas. 2 back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons for Devin Neal. Last year he had over 1,500 yards from scrimmage and 17 total touchdowns. Just a workhorse for Kansas. And this year they'll be needing him even more. They have Jalen Daniels, the starting quarterback, or should have been the starting quarterback the last 2 years. Just a dynamic, shifty quarterback, so he'll share the backfield with him. Daniel Highshaw, who I had in my honorable mentions of this list, they all 3 will share the backfield together, and they have high hopes in Lawrence, and I believe they can get them done. But at number 1, Ollie Gordon at Oklahoma State, best running back in the Big 12, and when I do my rankings of the best running backs in the entire country in a few days, he will most likely have the number 1 spot. No spoilers, but he probably will. And he single-handedly turned Oklahoma State's season around last year. Just what a season for him. Oklahoma State looked bad against Central Arkansas to start the season. Arizona State, they got killed to South Alabama in week 3, lost to Iowa State. And during that Iowa State game, they really found something in Ollie Gordon. And just what a season for him. Over 1,700 yards rushing, 300 more yards receiving, 2,060 yards total, and 22 touchdowns. He had a stretch where he had 3 games almost averaging 300 yards a game. Just a Heisman caliber season. Cannot wait to watch him this year. And Oklahoma State has Big 12 title hopes, playoff hopes, and they can get it done as long as they are giving this guy the rock. But yeah, guys, that is it for me. My top 12 running backs in the Big 12. Next, I have ACC, Big 10, and G5. And then after that, I'll do a full ranking of the top 10 or 15 running backs in all of college football. Super excited for that. Follow us on TikTok, 3&OUT CFB, on Twitter, 3&OUT_CFB. Posting daily on there, trying to grow those when college football season is right around the corner. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching.